Hello and welcome to this week tutorial. In this week tutorial, we will continue our series of building a responsive 4-page admin dashboard. In the first video, we lay out the groundwork by creating a simple and flexible framework. In the second video, we create a project management page, which is this one right here. In the third video, we create the e-commerce page, which is right here. In the last week video, we create the messages page, create this right here. And this week video will be creating the inbox, will be the last page, the inbox right here. So at the end of this week video, you have something like this, as you can see. And next week video, we will add the doc theme. So there's a link in the description where you can download the starter file for this week video. Even following along and writing the code, you can start with last week video, but this is your first time here or you want to start it now, you can download the starter folder from the Github page. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Hello and welcome back. My name is Marius, and on this channel I create web design and development tutorial. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe and hit on the bell notification icon so you won't miss my upload. So as I can say in the introduction, we continue our series, and this week video we will add the inbox page. So at the end, this is what we will have. Okay, so if you download the starter folder from GitHub, you can open it up in your VS Code. I'll have mine open it up already, got video 5 and the starter folder inside of it. Okay, and also I'm going to be using pre-pros to compile my SASS into regular CSS. So also there's a link in the description where you can download pre-pros. Be sure bring your video 5 folder here, and inside of the file right here you should see the starter folder, and go inside of this menu icon right here and click the project setting, go to CSS tools and scroll to SASS right here, select the SASS and scroll to the bottom right here and make sure a replace segment is selected, and inside here put this like this, okay, / and do the same thing for this one as well. Okay, and on the left right here go to the JS tools, and on the right go to where you see the output right here and select this one, and here put JS, and here put this / JS, and where it says suffix right here put that main like this, and check the always append suffix like this. Okay, and close out right here and open your starter folder like this, and the SCSS, and choose the main.scss, and should get something like this. Okay, make sure that this folder is created and this CSS folder is created. Okay, and make sure the process automatically is checked, and check this one as well, and press process files, and here you should have everything should be fine. Okay, and then go back to the file again. We do the same thing for the JS. When the JS folder, choose the main.js, and now this one click the process automatically, create source map, transpile webable, and scroll to the bottom again, process file, and everything should be fine as well. Okay, so that's the pre-pros. So on the VS Code, I have my starter folder open right here. I'm going to resize the browser so it can work side by side. Okay, so inside here I'm going to open duplicate my message.html. okay, so I'll right click, say copy, inside of the starter go right click, say paste. I'm going to rename it to inbox.html. okay, and here for the title, when say messages, I will change it to inbox. Okay, and I will collapse everything for now like this. so it's a little bit cleaner. Now go to the header right here, and I'll look for my URL, this URL right here. Okay, and inside of the URL I will look for the message that HTML right here, and I'll remove this e-active class from here. I delete it, and then go to the next li which had the index.html. Inside of the class I'm going to add my e-active class. Okay, I save this, and then I'm gonna collapse everything, the header again. Okay, and go back here. If I go to the menu, choose the inbox, you should have something like this, and also select the inbox correctly. Okay, so now for the end, you can see it's almost the same thing as this one, so the HTML won't be changing that much. So going back here, I'm gonna open the inside the main, this is dashboard that wrap over everything. I'm gonna expand it, and where we see the is dashboard message, I'm gonna change that one to inbox like this, and the offset, all of that remain the same. This one also remain the same, and we have our row right here, and we have these two columns, the left and the center. So let's start with the left. Gonna expand the left right here, and we have the code, which is fine. And inside of the code right here, where is for the h3, inside the message, I'm gonna be inbox, and where the badge is a 12, we're gonna be sys. Save this and get something like this. And inside of the form right here, we're gonna create a button. Okay, so where at the form, gonna create anchor elements with the class e.btn like this. Okay, for the href pull hash, and see, and for the content pull compose. Save this, so we get something like this. Okay, and that's for the header right here. Close this one out, and now for the body, body, I'm gonna give it some class right here. So additional class I'm gonna give it is the flex, make it flex, the deflex, and make it a flex direction to be column, and justify it to be between. Okay, just like this. Save this. So nothing shows right here because we still have this right here. So what I will do, I collapse this one and this one as well, and I'm gonna leave where this URL is, and on top of this right here, I'm gonna delete all of this. Okay, from the message, is message and option, I'm gonna delete them. Okay, collapse this URL. Okay, and I'll create another URL. Okay, say URL, and I give it a class called is. Actually, instead of creating a new one, there's a one right here, so I'm gonna use that instead of the message right here. Is message, gonna be is inbox like this. Okay, and remove this one, and then remove the padding. No, not remove, give it a padding code or 20 pixels all around. Okay, and I'm gonna collapse this li's, and for this li, we don't need any class except for the first one. So none of them need class. Only thing we need the data communication target, which will be the same as e-message, the center. So once open it up right here, we're gonna create an anchor element inside of the li anchor element with a class e-deflex, justified to be between. Like this, and a line to be center, and a padding top and bottom to be 8 pixels, like this. Okay, and for the href, set be hash. Okay, and down here inside of the anchor element, I'm going to create a span element. This also to be display flex and line to be center. So it's a span. So display, copy all of this, paste it right here. I'm gonna remove that justify to be between. That the first span right here. I'm gonna put in like the icon right here. So I and the class gonna be ri dash inbox dash line. Like this, I'm gonna give it a margin. Alright, to be 10 pixels, like this, and I put the word after the I right here to be inbox, and I'll create a second span element, and I put the word sys. And I save this. You get something like this, okay? And what we do next, gonna delete all the rest of the li, so we have this. So I just deleted the rest of the li except for the first one. So I'm going to duplicate this one. Shift Alt down arrow key. And for this one, I'm going to remove the data attribute that's in it. I'm going to remove, and for this, the classes will remain the same. And for the icon for this span, instead of inbox, it will be star, like this. And the contents will be star, like this. And I'm gonna remove this span and save this. You get it right here. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for the rest. So I'm gonna duplicate it again. So I'm gonna collapse this one and copy this. And this one for the icon, it's gonna be time. And our content gonna be snooze. Okay, I'm gonna paste it again. And this one is gonna be sender plain dash 2, like this. I'm gonna duplicate that again. No, not duplicate, paste it again. Save this. Okay, for this one, what we say that send airplane, it should supposed to be sender, like this. Sent. Okay. And for this one, instead of the star, it's gonna be draft line. Okay, and the content will be draft. And I paste it one more time. And this one, when span this, and the word content also span. And the last but not least, this one will be the trash. So we're gonna have delete dash bin, and the contents here will be trash. Okay, now save this. Yeah, this right here. Okay, like this. Okay, now we will create this contact. Okay, we will use if we take a look for the messages, the layout for the inbox for the contact will look exactly the same like this one. So we're gonna use the URL from the inbox page to do it, the markup for this one to do it. So if you're going back here, let me go back to the inbox. See, inside your sorter folder, you see the messages.html. So open that one up. I'm gonna open it up, collapse this, the header, and here where it say the code, I'm gonna collapse the code header right here, and for the body, I'm gonna collapse the option, this one, and here where we see the is message content and communication, I'm gonna collapse the URL, copy it like this, come here. After this URL, I put a little comment right here, and the bottom right here, and paste it, or we just copy. I've said this, you get all of this. Okay, now I'm gonna collapse this li so we can update them, because we don't need other contents. Okay, so we had the first li, our first li right here. Open it up. I'm gonna remove the data communication, all of that, something like this, and where we have our avatar, we're gonna remain the same right here, and our name, this all will remain the same. But when we have the paragraph, all of that, we're gonna give it the user span element instead, where the is that faded text class like this. Okay, and the content will be Jonathan lowercase j dot or at is.com, something like this. Okay, so that's all we need to do. I'm going to remove this is meta. Okay, save this, you get something like this. I'm gonna be the same for the rest. So what I'm just gonna do, gonna copy this li, the first li, and then paste it a couple more times, paste it 7 more times. So I'll be right back. Okay, I just pasted, so I had to draw 8. Save this, we get them right here. Okay, so that's the left side right here. Oh, we forgot one thing, the contact right here. So I'm gonna create li. Okay, I'm gonna give it the class, give it the padding e.pd all around 20 pixel, and then give it the faded text, and then give it the uppercase text transform like this, and gonna have the content of contact like this. Save it, so we get it right here. Okay, so that's the left side. Okay, so now we're gonna move to the center. Okay, so I'm gonna collapse all of this. I'm going to expand my center div right here. Okay, and let's get working. Okay, now we got the code right here. This will remain the same, and then the code header, we give it view class. Want it to display black by default. By default display in flex, but we want to set it to be display black on smaller devices like this, and then set it to be display flex and medium devices like this. Okay, and then we have our flex div right here, because we want to have the option to go back. For example, if I click this one now, give me the option to go back again. So we want these buttons to take care of that. So this will remain the same right here, but we don't have any avatar for this one. Instead, we have this icon right here, and we created those icons when we were working on the message page. That's when we had them right here. So we're gonna be using those one. Okay, go back to them backs. So after this, where we have these avatar and the detail, I'm going to delete them. Okay, and go to the message right here, and inside the right here inside of the body code right here, code body, when we had the option right here, message option, just gonna copy it, copy this whole thing inside the, and go back to the inbox and paste it right here. Okay, and I'm going to delete all the classes except for the first one, so everything get deleted. So if I say this now, get something like this. Okay, now we need to change some of the icon. We don't need all of them. We need our, we're gonna delete this one, this side right here. And for the first icon, it's gonna be check box blank. The second one going to delete, and this is going to be store. For the third one, instead of hot right here, going to be store. And the fourth one going to be reply, like this. Again, I'm going to duplicate it one more time. And the last one, instead of reply, it's going to be refresh, like this. So if I save this now, we got something like this. Okay, now we got a little bit too much. Okay, well, yeah, now I see why we got a little bit too much, because of this right here. So I'm gonna delete this one. Okay, now we get this one. Now the next one is this side right here. Okay, so after this, inside of still inside our header right here, header, I'm gonna collapse this one. Okay, but still inside of the header, after this flex, I'm gonna create another div with a flex. So I'm just gonna copy these classes like this. Okay, and down here I'm gonna create a span element with our is faded text class. It's gonna be 1 through 50 over 562, like this. And the bottom right here, I'm gonna create another span element with a class mg with a left or 10, so much and left or 10. Inside here I'm gonna create a button. So I'm just gonna copy two, just copy this one. Let me say this one. Paste it right here. I'm gonna remove this margin right from it, and the icon, the name gonna be arrow dash left dash s, like this. I'm gonna duplicate this one more time, and this one instead of the left, it's gonna be right. So I see this now. Here we get these two. Okay, like this. Okay, now that's the header. Now I'm gonna collapse the code header, this one. Now I'm gonna move to the code body. Okay, and for this one I'm gonna delete everything inside of the code body. So I'll collapse this div right here, and the code body tab right here. Delete it. I'm gonna delete the code folder, the message folder right here. And for the classes here, I'm gonna remove this padding tab of 20 pixel and give it an additional class called is dash inbox dash body, like this. And here I'm gonna create a UL with a class is dash inbox dash messages, like this, and the class is dash communication, like that. Alright, little comment here, and create my li with a class the table row. Okay, and another class is the messages that row, like this, and then given my data attribute, so data gonna connect it to a modal, so data modal target is gonna be the is dash messages, no message, the message user data, which is the same model we use for the chat and for the last video. Okay, so if I save this now, everything should be empty. Okay, so inside the li, I created div for the table data like this, and give it a padding left and right of 20 pixels and top and bottom on 10 pixels. Inside here, I'll create my flex container. Now just like that. Now we want to create this. We have this icon, these two icons first, and then we have this. Okay, so we have wrap it around the div. So basically you have like three sides: this side, first side, the second one, which is the name, okay, bigger, which is the this side, the name, and this section as well. Okay, so that's what we try to create. Okay, that's why I put this one to be a flex container. So I'm going to say give it a margin for the first section column, margin right at 10 pixel, and so display to be flex. And inside here, I'm going to create a span element with the class e-btn dash icon, and create the I with the class the check box blank. Like this. Okay, gonna duplicate this span, and here it's gonna be star like this. Save this, and here we get these two. Okay, now after this one, we're gonna create another div where the class is dash communication details, like this, and then give it a margin right or 10 pixel like this, and instead of create a span element with the heading 5 class, and set it with display flex, not display block, like this, and put the name like this. Okay, and after this one, create a div with a flex auto. So you can take the remaining width. So I'm going to create paragraph. Inside of paragraph, I'm going to create a span element first with a class. Give it a bold font weight, and I put currently meaning. And after the span right here, put the lorem, and I put 12 like this. Okay, save this. You get something like this. Okay, so let me make it bigger so you can see. So you get something like this. Okay, now we're gonna be the same for the rest. So I'm gonna collapse this li right here, copy it, and then paste it. Okay, I just paste it as many times as I want. I didn't even count. I just keep on pasting. Okay, that's not exact number that I need to be. So after saving it, you should get something like this. Okay, now if you make it to be small right here, it disappear. Okay, when you click here, it shows. Okay, which is good. Okay, so the next on our list will be the, we take a lot of finish. When we click it, we have this modal that pops up where all more information you can write a reply. So that's gonna be the next. Right now, if I click it, it just showed the old modal. So I'm gonna collapse this right here, all of this, and collapse this one. And where we say we had our chat modal, we're gonna open it up right here. Now let's get working on it. Okay, I will give it the active class so you can see what we're styling very quickly. So I save this. You should see it right here. Okay, so that's the modal. So I'm going inside of the row, inside of the code right here. Let's give another class called is dash inbox dash modal. Okay, and inside here we have our code right here. For the code header, we need to give it a display black code class like this. Okay, and in here for this one, I'm gonna delete it, but leave the flex container. I'll leave this one the way it is. So I'm gonna remove the align center right here, and here create this button right here. Okay, so we have those button also right here. So I'm just gonna copy this one real quickly. So it's usually on the top right here. So inside of the center, on the header, and this one, I'll just copy this whole thing. Collapse this, going back here, paste it right here. Okay, and I'm going to remove everything from this one. Okay, like this, and I'm going to delete 2 div from here. Okay, so make sure you have this flex container and this button inside of it. So the first one will be the delete bin. Okay, the second one gonna be the store, and the third one gonna be the reply. Okay, so we just need to delete the first one and the last one right here. So if I say this now, so we get them right here. Okay, so we get something like this. Okay, let me clean up here a little bit. So that's our button. The next is this curly right here, and that is still inside of the header right here. So after this flex right here, go down here, create a heading for element where the margin top and bottom number 20 peso, like this, and write the content. Like this, and after that one, create my avatar. Okay, so if I save this now, we get it right here. Now after this, create a div with a flex class as well, align to be center. Okay, second. Set here and create a margin right of 10 pixel, and put my avatar here. like this. Create my image and give it the class the avatar image class. And for the source attribute, gonna be the images, and I'm gonna user F3 like this. Okay, if I say this now, you should get it right here. Now after this div, create a user detail div like this. Let me spell details correctly like that. Okay, so inside here I'm gonna create a span element with a heading 5 class, and also make sure it display block like this. Footer name, now we want to create this now, so I'm gonna create another span inside of this span right here, and then give it a class or the font size of 12 pixel. The faded text and font weight to be regular. Because the H5 had a font weight bold, so we want to set this one to regular. And here we can use the greater or the less than symbol to create this right here. So we can have to use the HTML5 entity. So it's going to be the ampersand, the n like this, LT, so less than, and then semicolon, and then we're gonna put our word, our contents in between here like this, .com. And then we're gonna do the same thing. Instead this time gonna be greater than GT like that. Okay, if I save this now you see we get it right here. Okay, and after that one I'm gonna create another span with a faded text and with a font size 12. So I'm just gonna copy these two, and here it will say to me like this. Save this, then we get this right here. So we have our header like this. Now that will start working on the body. So I'm gonna close the header right here, and for the body I'm gonna give an extra class display reflex and flat direction to be column, and justify a between. Collapse all of this, delete all of this, and create a div with a class called is dash inbox dash 4 dash email like this. Okay, now we're working here right now. So I'm gonna create a paragraph that will say hi Jane like this, uppercase J, and click on the paragraph while load on, say 45, something like this. Okay, save this, you get something like this. Okay, so now I work on this one. So after this, let me write a comment right here real quickly. Now on the bottom here I'm gonna create another div with a class. I'm gonna paste this class from here, but instead of the full email, it's going to be email reply. Okay, and I'll write the comments here as well. Now in here, create my form element with the class form like this. Remove the action inside my form right here, and create a div for the class the form group, either form group like this, and set it with display flex, and then line to be center, and padding left to be 20 pixels. Okay, and create a span element. Give it a class called for uppercase to be uppercase, and to be flex auto, so you can take the available width, and margin right to be 10 pixels. So this is the side we're working on right now. Okay, so for here I'm gonna put reply to like that. Okay, and after this span element, I'm gonna put the inputs field with a class e dash form input like this, and give another padding or left for 10 pixels like that. Okay, and give it a value to be Samantha 3. Save this, and we should get something like this. Okay, reply to, and we get this one. Okay, and so next, this text area right here. So after this form group right here, I'm gonna go down, create another form group with a padding 20 pixels left. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna delete everything except for the form group and the padding left. Okay, and here we are going to use the text area like this. Okay, I'm gonna delete all of this, give it a class of e dash form inputs like this, and then another e dash form underscore text area like this, and give it a padding left for the 0 like this. Okay, and you see we have this right here. So if I save this now, just got this right here. So if I go inside here and put hi meta like this, and go to the next line, put lorem and say 25, save this. Now you take look right here, let me open it up again. See how this one, everything on the same line right here, but here is not so, because the space right here is what's creating it. So what we had to do, we had to remove the spaces. So I'm gonna put this one, remove the space like this. Okay, and remove the space for this one as well. Okay, so if I see this now taking shape, but see, press enter, we save this, we're gonna face this one when it's disappearing, but it's still right here. Okay, we need it to be right here in line with our reply. Okay, for example, this one is already in line with our reply right here, so we need this one also to be in line by the reply. So what we can do, we remove all this space right here. So if I remove this space now, save it, now you can see, Okay, now we need to add a little bit more space right here. So all we had to do is press enter here one more time and remove the space from this one to here and save this. Now you can see. Okay, after doing some digging, there's a quick mistake inside of the JavaScript. That's why this, when we still clicking here, it goes away. So it's right here. See where you see the is subscription plan? It's supposed to be is modal enter. So it's supposed to be is modal dash enter, like this. If I say this now we stay. Okay, so close out my JS and also this inside of the modal function right here. Okay, so I'm gonna close out my JS and come back here. So we finished this one. The next one is this right here. Okay, and this one. So after the text area right here, but still inside this form group, and I will go down, create a class called attachment. Like this, and the padding that left to be 0, and padding on the rest of the side to be 20 pixels. So we just want to remove the padding from the left. Okay, and I'm gonna create a div to be display inline flex. Give it extra class called is the attachment, like this. And second, I'm going to create my icon, ri dash file dash zip dash line, and give it a margin right at 10 pixels, like this. And after the icon, can put our word is financial report, like this. That save, like that. Save this. We get it right here. Okay, so after this one, okay, and still instead of the form group, can collapse this one outside of this form group. I'm gonna create another form group. Okay, so these are the class I'm gonna have to copy it real quickly. So had a form group class, display flex justified between, and line center, padding left to be 20 pixels, and padding all around to be 8. Okay, so inside of this one, created another display flex class. And I'm going to use 2 buttons. So these are just button. Use the button elements. Give it a class of but e-btn icon, and use this icon right here. Use the attachment or attachment line, and the second one the same, but only had a delete band icon. So if I save this now, we should get these two. Okay, and after this div right here, but still inside of the form group, I'm gonna create another button, but this time gonna be typed to be summit. Give it a class e the btn, and then e the btn small, like this. Let me remove this end, and content gonna be send, like this. Okay, save this. We get it right here. Okay, now that's the model. Okay, now we're gonna work on the CSS. So open up your communication.scss inside of pages folder right here, and on the bottom right here, scroll to the bottom right here, and after this one we start styling our inbox. Okay, so write a comment right here. Okay, now I'm going to select my is dash inbox dash modal. We wrap it around this whole modal. Okay, and I'm going to select the full email, which is this one right here. So maybe is dash inbox the full email, like this. You have the max height of 25 RAM, like this. Overflow to be hidden and auto. Okay, give it a margin bottom of 3 RAM, and I give it a custom scroll bar. I include custom scroll bar. So I save this. Let me see some space between these two. So after that one, now it's start styling the form right here. So I'm going to select my eForm class, this class, get a border to be 0.2 RAM, a solid, and it's going to be the gray 400. Get the border radius to be the default border radius, so this one. Okay, now I'm going to select save this so you can see what's happening. So we get this right here. Okay, so after that one, I'm going to select a form group instead of it, group, and set the border bottom. It's going to be the same as this one. So I'm going to copy this, paste it like this. So save it. Now we don't, this one also is from group. See, it added another 2 picks. So border bottom, we don't want it. So we want to remove the border from the last one. So we can set, use the not selector right here. Not, say last of type. Like this. So if I say it now, it should remove it. It should add it to everything by except the last one. Okay, so that's the form group. Now we're gonna move to the input. From input, and this one with a background color transparent. Save this. Now you can see now we have no more background color, the test area and the input here. Okay, instead of remove the border from them, be 0. Now want to give color to this one, so I'm gonna say color to be the secondary color right here. If I save this now, it gave the secondary color to all of them, but we only want the secondary color to only for this one. So again, we're gonna use the not. Okay, and this one, remember, this is the test area. Okay, but this is the regular input field. So what we do, something like this. Okay, let me scroll to the bottom. So these are not. Okay, and then I'm gonna use the attribute selector, display the class, and our test area had a class called e-form _text area. So what we're doing here, we're selecting everything except for any element with this class name. Okay, so we want to bring our color inside of it here. So if I see this now, I'm going to only style this one, I can see right here. Okay, so that's input field. Now I'm going to start the test area by itself. So after this input field, and here I'm going to select the test area like this, I'm gonna set the height to be 15 RAM, set a resize to be none, give it a line height to be 1.4, give it the custom scroll, so add include custom scroll. Save this. You shouldn't see anything here because it's under 15 RAM. Okay, now after that one, the next is the attachment right here. So after the text area right here, go down here, select attachments like this. Okay, I'm spelling that wrong. Create the ease, this, give it the padding all around or 0.2 RAM. Say background color to be the secondary 100, and the color to be the secondary itself, and say border radius to be the default border radius like this. Save it. Now you get something like this. Okay, border radius, not border, like this. Save it. Now you get it this. Okay, so as you can see, this is our finished project, the one that we just did today. So if I resize this, click this, everything working fine. Okay, I make this one a little bigger. As you can see right here, it's a lot small compared to the finished one right here. So the reason why is inside our HTML, I forgot to update the class right here that wrap around this whole model. So this one right here, for the MD, instead of 4 gonna be 7, and for LG gonna be 6, like this. No, 6, not 65. So I say this now. Okay, now you can see. Okay, now you have a lot more room. Okay, so I'm gonna expand everything. So okay, before we finish this one off, I'm gonna remove the active class from here so it can be hidden. So I save this. Now we're back here. So this is our inbox page. Click one of these, it shows. Okay, so that'll be it for this week video, and before next week there's gonna be a link in the GitHub so you can download the starter for next week video. Next week gonna be the last one. That's what we're gonna add the doc team to our dashboard. So if you are not already done, I will appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and share it. And thank you for being here. And next week we're gonna be adding the doc team. For example, you can see right here the doc team for on all the pages. You can see right here, and the doc team will stay because we're gonna be using the local storage to save our option. Okay, so everything look nice like this. Okay, so that'll be it for this week tutorial. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, have a great one. Bye.